Hey team, I'm Melissa Forsyth, the principal here at Liberty Middle School. And at Liberty, we follow the big three, where we do our best, we do what's right, and we treat others the way we want to be treated at all times. We understand that middle school is the prime time to get students talking about character and what they plan to do post-secondary. By incorporating soft skills into our daily motivation here at Liberty, we're getting students ready for whatever they choose: employment into the workforce, enrollment into college, or enlistment into the armed forces. We invited 2 local business owners, Rashad Jones from Big Lee's Barbecue and Jeromy Williams from Chick-Fil-a, to discuss the importance of work ethic, teamwork, positive attitude, and communication with our entire student body. Students in our career and technical education classes created questions for the gentlemen to answer in a live streaming video across campus. Afterwards, they spent time in the courtyard with our students, answering questions and actually signing some autographs as well. All really does mean all here at Liberty Middle School and across our district. We appreciate the support of our community in our efforts to make sure all students value these soft skills to get them ready for whatever lies ahead: employment, enrollment, or enlistment. We hope you enjoy this project.
Chick-Fil-a and Mr. Jeromy Williams, owner of the Chick-fil-A franchise, also in Chick-fil-A in Ocala.
They agreed to sit down with us to answer some questions on soft skills, specifically positive attitude, work ethics, communication, teamwork, dependability, and reliability.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules, Mr. Williams and Mr. Jones, to join us at Liberty.
The first questions are related to positive attitude.
Jaren asks, how does having a positive attitude means that customers will come back to your business and be repeated customers?
Well, first off, thank you, Liberty Middle, for having us. We're honored to be here. It's ironic that question came up, so that was Jared. Thank you for asking that. I just challenged our entire team this week to break some drive-through records that have been out there for 3 years. Now, I want you to think of how many people we serve every day, and we've got some records that have been in place for 3 years. And we talk specifically about being positive and what I call thermostat leadership, which, if you think about a thermostat on the wall, it controls the temperature in the room, right? So if you as a leader walk in the room and your temperature's high and you're positive, it sets the tone for everybody. So what do you think happened this week already? Because we talked about positive energy in the restaurant. What do you think happened?
You broke the record.
We didn't break one, y'all. You ready? We broke 7 records this week that have been there for 3 years. So how important is a positive attitude and positive energy? Massively important.
Well, I think positive attitude is incredibly important for what we do. We cook with live fires outdoors in Florida during the summertime. So it provides a lot of opportunity to be disgruntled and kind of hot and sweaty. And positive attitude is what makes it possible for us. We spend a lot of time cooking our food. Our brisket and burnt-ends are really juicy. They're really tender. It kind of melts in your mouth when you bite into it. And it takes 27 hours in total to cook that cut of meat. So that's a long time, and it's a long day. It's really hot, it's really smoky, it's really sweaty. But we do it with love. It's the only way you can kind of cook this type of food, because of the conditions. They're not very favorable. Nobody says on their day off, hey, let's go hang out by a fire while it's 100 degrees outside. So a positive attitude is required for what we do. It's barbecue. Barbecue generally starts out, person's first barbecue experience happens in the backyard with family and friends generally, and it's always positive. It's always good attitudes. People hanging out at the house in the backyard, listening to music, having a good time, and that whole concept just kind of translated into what we do with our business. As Jeromy said, leadership is super important, and it starts with me, and it affects everyone else. If I'm having a bad day and I come in displaying a really bad attitude, it's going to make everybody else feel, kind of unsettled, and they're going to have that same funky attitude. But we try to be super positive, and it's natural for us. I'm a happy person. I'm a people person, so I get to cheat on this one. I don't have to try too hard at it. So.
Thank you. The next question is asked by all students. They ask, does having a positive attitude only relate to the employees' attitudes while working towards each other?
You want me to take that one? Or you want to take that? I don't think it only relates to, you said, does it only relate to employees?
Yeah, towards each other.
Absolutely not, because we have a ton of interaction with customers as any food service business, and customers are people. Customers have bad days. Customers go through things. They can lose jobs or lose a loved one. Their kid could be sick or have some sort of issue that you're completely unaware of. So they may approach the business and kind of display that not so good attitude. It's not our job to kind of match them with a bad attitude or kind of give it back to them type of a thing. It's our job to be compassionate and empathetic and really try to make a difference in their lives. Food just happens to be the medium that we try to express our kindness and our love to people with. So employee to employee or staff member to staff member is really important, but we also want to affect our customers in a positive way as well. So.
Yeah, we like to use, we call it chickenese. We've changed some of the language that we use. And we chose a while back not to even use the word customer, but we like to instead use the word guest. And so what we think about is, if you have a guest come into your house, typically think through what that week looks like before your guest arrive. Man, it's extra deep cleaning, right? You're not having frozen pizza that night. You're calling Big Lee's, and you're getting all the fixings, right? I mean, you're going to do it upright. When that guest pulls in your driveway, you don't just lay on the couch and say, "Come on in." You go greet them. And so we purposely use the word guest. And what a lot of people forget, and to your point, we train our kitchen staff. Their guest is the front counter employee that they are serving. So no matter where you are in a restaurant, you are directly impacting and serving a guest. And Truett had this amazing saying that I have always loved. And he always said that the handshake of the host determined the taste of the roast. And so what it means is, depending on the interaction you have, the food just tastes better if you got a really positive attitude toward everybody.
Thank you.
Christina asks, what are some things you can do to improve your attitude?
You know what? I think the one thing that has always helped me, if I find myself getting in a funky mood, and I think we all can get there, usually that happens when we're all about ourselves. We get very internal, and the world becomes about us. The one thing that just snaps me out of a funky attitude is rocking myself around a little bit and saying, get out and serve somebody else. Because it's really hard to be in a bad mood. If you can find a need and serve somebody else, it changes your attitude completely. Because then you start realizing you've got it pretty good. And whatever you're complaining about really is first world problems. So I always find it better if I can get out there and serve others. It changes my attitude.
So, Christina, I think a big part of it goes back to gratitude. I try to always think about how fortunate I am. I cook barbecue for a living out of a trailer, and I got a chance to travel the world and do some really cool things in a very short amount of time. Our business just celebrated its 5th anniversary back in July.
Awesome.
Big Lee's is 5 years old. Thanks.
Man, guys, that's huge. That's a big deal. Congratulations.
It's a huge step. But I always try to remind myself of all of the things that I have that could be so much different. I could have a product that I put a lot of hard work into that nobody shows up for. I could have food that people just simply don't like, or they're constantly hammering me online with, reviews that are not nice. But it's not like that. The problems that we have aren't really problems when I stop and think about them. A lot of times it's an inconvenience. It's something that, is a little less than, perfect. But it's not genuinely a bad problem. So I like to take that time every day to really reflect on how fortunate I am, and that kind of helps to get my attitude back on track. It's the thing I do. My wife Patrice and I have 4 sons, and they're all really little. Our oldest son is 8 years old. His name's Caleb. And most all young kids, boys, they like to play with trains and whatnot. And I always talk to them about how if a train goes off the track, it's not gonna achieve its intended destination. It's not gonna get to where it was supposed to go. And with me, I know if my attitude's off track, I'm heading in the wrong direction. And I look at every moment in life as being priceless, and I don't want to spend any time heading in the wrong direction. And attitude is going to determine, which way you're heading or not.
Thank you.